I'm not getting any results because I'm worried about how I look to others. And guess what? No one cares how you look. They care about how they look. They care about, what do people think of them? They're not thinking of you. They're too busy thinking of themselves. All right. So 5 common sales mistakes that I just wish people would stop making. So we got 5. Now I could give you 50, but I chose 5. I think these are 5 of the most common ones. Now, these definitely are not in order. I'm not sure how I would even put these in order, but they're not in order. Number 1, at least I tried. At least I tried. So you'll see people make this desperate Hail Mary, just total desperation pitch to someone, not structured, not persuasive, not the right timing. The prospect's not in the right position. They're not in the right posture. It just doesn't make any sense. And then they'll say, well, at least I tried. Okay. The problem is when you're asking for the sale, right? Like a lot of sales closers say, always be closing. Well, you should always be closing if they're in the right position. If they're not, you should not be closing. That's not the time to close. And so every time a salesperson tries to close when it's not the appropriate time to close, you continue that stigma that to be good in sales, you got to be pushy or aggressive or whatever, right? It's just not a good look. No one wants to be dragging people or convincing people, but that's how it will feel if you're not asking for the sale at the appropriate time. So one of the 4 P's is position. Know what is the position of the prospect. And so if you don't, it's not, at least I tried. It's no, you're seeing who's open. Okay. You're seeing who's open, who raises their hand, and you're taking them through a process. Now, not all will say yes, of course, but you're taking them through a process that should not turn them off. They may not buy, but they shouldn't be turned off. When you do this whole, at least I tried, that you pitched them out of position, you didn't have posture, you were pushy and aggressive, it's not good. It's not good. Okay. So that's one common sales mistake I wish people would stop making is pitching out of position, trying to close someone when they're clearly not in the right position to be closed. Number 2, similar, but not exact, convincing. Convincing is gross. Convincing is yuck. So convincing is when someone rejects it or someone says, it's not a fit for me. And instead of asking questions and trying to pull information, they push. Well, why not? What don't you like? And I remember and believe me, some very smart people do this kind of thing, or at least they teach this kind of thing. I was at an event and this big top earner, he said, and this was for a travel company. He said, if someone tells me no, I just say, what don't you like, travel or making money? That's not going to close anybody. No one's going to say, well, thanks for making me feel really stupid. Now I'd like to work with you. Where do I sign up? That's not how it works. And so never be convincing, right? You want to manage the energy of the conversation. So if they're pulling away, you need to pull away a little bit. Hey, I don't think this thing's a fit for me. Yeah, you're probably right. It's not a fit for everybody. Well, I'm glad you took a look at it. Do you know anyone that does want to make some extra money? See, sometimes us pulling away a little bit actually pulls them in closer. Well, tell me more. How does it work again? I've had that only 1,000 times. But if they pull away and I push and I try to convince and I try to chase, it doesn't work. Ever, never, ever. It'll never work. So don't ever be convincing. Ugh, gross. Okay, so number 1, these aren't in order. I just want to share that. Number 1, at least I tried. That's when we make a pitch out of position and with no posture. Number 2, convincing. They've rejected it. I'm going to try to convince them. I'm going to try to push them into a decision. Number 3, beating yourself up after a rejection. Some of you know I shared this where is it? Right here. I shared this in the book, Go for No for Network Marketing, which, by the way, this thing has been a bestseller for like 9 years. Almost every month, this thing sells like crazy. Go for No. Make sure you get the Go for No for network marketing. That's the one with my story. I wish some of you have heard my story of how I went for 20 no's a day and month 7 became the number one incomer of that company. I wish if I had to do it all over, I would wear a brain cap and a heart monitor so that you could see I wasn't affected by rejection. I wasn't like, oh man, an ice cream, right? I wasn't affected by rejection. It wasn't a big deal. It just wasn't. So if someone said no, okay, great, no problem. Do you know anyone that does want to make some extra money? Whatever, not a big deal. And so the book is great for really two things. Well, three things. One, hope. If you've had a lot of rejection, this will give you hope. Number two, it'll reduce your resistance to rejection and your reaction to rejection. You being worried about getting rejected and you reacting to that rejection. It's just not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Not a big deal. Okay. That's number three. Number four, also similar. This is a common sales mistake. Is more worried about how they look than helping someone or making a sale. I don't want to look stupid. Guess what? I hate to break it to you. If you ever want to get good at something, there's going to be a period of suckville. There's going to be a period where you just stink. You're just not good at it, whatever that is. And I've experienced that literally in every area of my life, even weird areas. Like, I remember when I first started doing meditation, okay? And meditation, right? Feel good, feel nice. I get all calm and stuff. I was doing this breath exercise. I was doing it incorrectly and I was knocking myself out. I'm not joking. So there's Joe Dispenza teaches this breath exercise where you move energy up your spine, right? It's very intense. And I was tensing my neck and I didn't know I wasn't, supposed to. I was just, doing. And so I'd be listening to the meditation. And I would do the thing, and then I'd wake up on the floor and like, then right, I'm serious. I literally would black out. I would hear the music speed up a whole lot, and then boom, I'm out. I screwed up meditation. I was knocking myself out doing meditation. I did it. I'd like to tell you it happened one time, and then I fixed it. It didn't, because I didn't realize what I was doing wrong, and I'm just very dedicated to improvement. All right. So I probably knocked myself out 4 or 5 times. My first video I ever did, the mentor I sent it to responded, LOL, you should totally post that. I'm like, what's that mean? What's he talking about? And so I reached out to him. I'm like, yeah, hey, oh, you saw the video. He goes, dude, I didn't know you were going to start with skits first. I'm like, yeah. It was so bad. He thought it was a skit. He thought it was a comedy sketch. So bad. My first time speaking in front of a group, my boss asked me, like she pulled me in her office, had me shut the door. Are you on drugs? Listen, if you're worried about how you look, you'll never get better at that thing. You'll just stay in that, I'm not getting any results because I'm worried about how I look to others. And guess what? No one cares how you look. They care about how they look. They care about, what do people think of them? They're not thinking of you. They're too busy thinking of themselves. And so get out there, get your jersey dirty, fall forward, fail forward. Now, I do talk about this phenomenon in Faith Driven Wealth. And by the way, all of my books are on Amazon. Real simple. Amazon, search Ray Higdon. And so in chapter, I think 5, I talk about 22 reasons you're broke. This is one of them. If you're more worried about how you look to others than possibly helping them and making a sale, then you'll stay broke. You'll stay broke. Don't do it. If you believe, and I hope you do, if you believe in your product, service, or opportunity, your job is to ask people if they're open to taking a look at it. It's your job. It's your job. Okay. So 5 common sales mistakes. Okay. At least I tried. No posture, out of position. 2, convincing. What do you mean you don't like it? Here's why you should. Number 3, beating yourselves up. You get rejected, you beat yourselves up. Number 4, you're worried about rejection, so you just don't even ask anyone. You're more worried about how you look than helping someone and making a sale. And number 5, thinking profit is bad. This is very common, especially amongst Christians. They think that profit is bad. How can profit be bad? How are you supposed to stay in business? Guess what? I want all of the local businesses around me to be profitable. Why? Because I want them to stay in business. I don't want let's see, where I don't want restaurants to donate their profits and then all of a sudden they can't stay in business, they close down. Here in Naples, I've seen several staple restaurants go out of business. Now, I don't know what they're doing with profit, but it probably has to do with increased costs, I would imagine. I don't know. But I don't want to read a story of my favorite company now or entrepreneur now giving away all their profits. No, I want them to continue to do what they do. And to do that, you need profits. You need to make more than your expenses. Profit is not bad. It's not a bad thing. Some people some people, it's like, well, I'm not making anything on this. Okay. Bummer for you. Bummer for you. If you're recommending something awesome, you should be. Listen, I make no bones about it. I bring a lot of speakers and I do a lot of different interviews. And a lot of times you'll hear me drop a link. Guess what? I'm getting an affiliate cut. What the heck? You're going to pay the same cost whether I introduce it to you or you go search it online. So if I'm the one introducing it, why not? Why shouldn't I get a cut? Why shouldn't I get something? Why shouldn't you get something? And so you got to get over that whole profit is bad or evil or greedy or any of that kind of stuff. It's a very weird theology, very weird theology. It's a lie from the enemy. My book talks all about that kind of stuff, faith-driven wealth. And so those are the 5 that I chose. Now, there are more, okay, believe me. But the 5 common sales mistakes, at least I tried: convincing, beating yourselves up, more worried about how you look, and thinking profit is bad. If you want to have a breakthrough in your sales, we have 2 opportunities. Number 1, my monthly group coaching called Sales and Marketing Mentorship. We meet twice a month. We dig into your business, we dig into your mindset, any kind of sabotage. What is your brand looking like? What are your sales conversations looking like? And then in September, we have our very limited, intimate group setting. We're having our retreat. There'll be an optional dinner if you want to attend that. And then the one day is September 20th in Fort Myers, Florida. Everyone's going to get in a hot seat. We're going to dig into your business. And my friend Mark Harbert is going to teach you how to use AI to drive more sales. So it's going to be epic. Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook if you'd like to learn more about Sales and Marketing Mentorship or September. And I appreciate you so very much. God bless you. God bless your family. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.